Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more EarthBound. Last time, we entered Magicant, our world between our two little ears, and we began exploring the depths of our mind. This time, we go to confront the source of the evil and violent part of our mind. The Sea of Eden. This music is beautiful. It's another one of those great themes that I never hear anyone really talk about, and I think that's a crying shame. I didn't think that it was a particularly great piece of music the first time that I heard it, but the moment that it really stuck with me, of all times, was that as a kid, when I was in a time before speedrunning being as big as it is now, certainly, I thought that it might be impossible to complete EarthBound in one sitting. But it didn't stop me from trying as a kid, and I remember that there was one night after school on a Friday where I decided, I'm sorry, I'm really good at losing this baseball cap, so I think I'm going to just lose it again. I decided that I was going to try my hardest to beat EarthBound in one sitting. Starting after school, got to work right away, and I ended up playing through it through the entire night. The sun had already come up when I reached the Sea of Eden, and I heard this song, and it was really sinking in just how beautiful it was in that moment, yet it was making it really hard to stay awake because it was also super relaxing, and I was like, come on, can we get through this place as fast as we can, please? I don't want to fall asleep, I'm dozing here, come on, play more intense music, I don't know, have the final boss play an electric guitar at me or something, just anything, please! And, yeah, it was not the moment when you want to realize that a piece of music is very moving and soothing, but it was when I realized it, and it certainly stuck with me over the years. This got horribad very quickly. Okay, Electro Swoosh. They have Thunder Beta, and they send a greeting which wastes their turn. If you have the Franklin badge, they can't possibly hurt you, but they can hurt the Flying Man. Oh. I ain't fighting an uncontrollable. No, not defend. No, I meant to run away. There I go, screwing up the interface again. Come on, man. What happened to you? You've done this so many hundreds, so many thousands of times. Just don't suck. Hit run away. Good. All right. The Flying Man cannot be directly healed, which is certainly a little bit of duty that we're gonna have to deal with, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna kind of suck a little bit. The enemies here aren't that strong. The loaded dice are just there to be very annoying and call for enemies. They're not really all that strong. They just have a lot of health, and you're not likely to take them out in one turn, so they're gonna get to call for help almost no matter what they do. Go to level 74. Get another 3 HP, a 5 PP. Good, we're not really needing to use our PP recovery items, and this thing. The Magicant Bat inside. Just having to throw away my items now, aren't I? Diamond Band. I know I could sell it, but we're swimming in money, who cares? Magicant Bat. This is the most powerful weapon for Ness that you are likely to come into contact with. The ultimate bat, unfortunately, ain't very true to its name. Magicant Bat it is. Still trying to open one of these enemies. I hate loaded dice, Oh, Fabi! Hey, never mind. I like it when you do that. He's able to call for beautiful UFOs, which again will always drop an item if no one else does. Fabi's are good experience. Wow, this thing is actually really good experience with the loaded dice put together with it. And he can also call for uncontrollable spheres, which that's personally the enemy set that I run away from, because who wants to deal with exploding enemies when you're all by your lonesome? Okay, we reset that. I'll take the battle, not the magic butterfly. The French Kiss of Death is a more powerful version of an enemy that we have not seen, I believe. The Kiss of Death that can appear in the pink cloud, which is a pretty rare enemy there. I'm not too torn up over the fact that we never fought it, but here is the, I was gonna say daddy version, but no, more like mommy version. I'll let you see what it does. It only has one attack. Gave you the Kiss of Death. Did not work on the Flying Man. Did not work on the Flying Man. If that hits Ness, it's a guaranteed poison. I like to think that the enemies here represent feelings of fear inside of Ness's mind because they're surrounding the evil within it. I know I'm doing a lot of interpretation kind of stuff here and analysis level stuff, and I try to not overdo it with that because I know that there's no way of proving if I'm right, but I think a kiss being poisonous is, know, pretty good allegory for how a little prepubescent kid would think of that sort of thing. Magic tart inside. I'm sorry. I don't need any of this stuff. Okay, ultimate bat, because I have the Magicant bat now, and I don't care about selling it. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna keep moving on, and I think you are the last enemy that we have yet to fight. No, there's actually one more besides this one. The Carefree Bomb is what it is. It throws a bomb. Is it throwing itself? Probably not, because it still exists. It's able to also use super bombs, which are a bit more dangerous. Pretty straightforward enemy. Personally, I think this enemy looks like it belongs in a museum. And then, ooh, maybe you're it. You didn't battle against, or battle alongside the other, uh-oh. Yep, that's an insta-win. That's definitely the enemy that we haven't seen yet. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of rock back and forth a little bit till I find it. Frame rate. Here we go. Mr. Molecule. These are molecules inside of our brain. Does that mean that we're killing evil brain cells? I don't know, and I probably don't want to know. We're gonna do, I don't want to know, suddenly sound Canadian. Oh. They have the same, they're not the same psychic abilities. They have psychic abilities that Ness isn't able to use, and they're not able to use them very well, so I think that's living proof that they are inside of his, that they are actually a part of his brain molecules. Oh, that's bad. They are able to concentrate a few turns. After they're able to concentrate, they will use Flash Alpha, Fire Alpha, Thunder Alpha, and Freeze Alpha. Our flying man has fallen, and if you'll excuse me, I'm going to be right back. Mr. Molecule is your designated experience point grinding enemy, as they aren't able to do much against you until the 4th turn of battle and often attack in groups, giving a lot of experience. Ness grew to level 75. Oh baby, offense up by 3. A rolling Omega! Woohoo! Alright, maybe we're not going to be right back quite as much as I thought I would. Hey! Large group of Mr. Molecules. You look like prime, fresh meat. You are made of brain, after all. Let's try it. 98 pp of pure raining destruction from the heavens. Probably not a good thing to use on my own brain, but who cares? Kind of meta, being my mind being the thing that it crushes itself. 800 damage, 650, 400. Was that actually 800 damage in the first place, or was I just matching through the text and misread it? Probably the case. Ness grew to 76 as well. Thanks, Magic Butterfly. I walked all the way back to the town of Magicant to show you. Ness's courage is resting here. He fought well and died. There's only 4. I'll be your courage. I'll remain unless you lose your courage. Call me Flying Man 2. There are only 5 of them to get you through the Sea of Eden. Use them wisely. I was hoping I might get a chance to show this. The French Kisses of Death is one of the coolest looking battle backgrounds. If you can fight it alone, you're just unlikely to ever do that because it tends to attack in groups and the enemies are so clustered together. You just barely can catch up with me. I like to challenge myself and see if I can get a flying man all the way through within the 5 attempts. It doesn't always happen, but we've got this far and I don't think he's taken any damage. We're right back over by that present that had the magic tart in it. And there's the end of the pathway. If I'm going to tell you stories about Magicant and the Sea of Eden, I can't tell you about my personal experiences without with this part, without telling you a little bit about myself. So, I've mentioned this in the past a few times. But without going into too much detail and talking about myself for too long, I am on the spectrum. I do have a mind that works a little bit differently from other people. I'd rather not go into too much detail, but from what I understand, I was a slim chance. ended up being able to control most of their symptoms, and yeah, my mind does work a little bit differently. Now, I've said in the past that I was misdiagnosed, and that was something that I regret saying. It was a fit of rage because a relative convinced me that I was, but honestly, I don't believe that, and there is no such data to support that that is the case. But one of the ways that my mind works differently from other people's is that rather than remembering, I guess, text definitions for what things are, I tend to remember pictures, where I oftentimes know what a word looks like a lot more so than I would remember, text associated with it. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but the way that I've always remembered a certain word is this image right here. This growth in the middle of the Sea of Eden that you see at no other point. I don't even know what I would describe it as. Maybe a vine, maybe a tentacle. But this image of this thing growing out of the middle of a mind with this water around it sparkling and this music playing is creativity. And I don't think there is any other concept outside of something in EarthBound that I remember with something in EarthBound. However, we have bigger fish to fry than talk about that. The Kraken has made a comeback. If your flying man made it all this way, you're probably not going to have him last all that much longer either. You don't have a lot of ways of doing damage that don't consume lots of PP. That's going to be about the only way that you're going to win these fights even faster than you can. Oh gosh, breathing fire. Oh no! Oh, you can't go back here. Valiant effort. He took almost no damage that entire time. I'm very pleased with that. So, the deepest part of the Sea of Eden. I'd like to once more thank Boundary Break for their discoveries about this game because I'd never seen this noted anywhere else. If you were to glitch outside of these walls and walk on that green water, you would hear a unique sound effect not played anywhere else. That water actually has, it's specified that you'd be walking on top of it, and it plays audio for that is unique to it. So maybe you were intended to go outside of this purple water and explore the reaches beyond at one point. I don't know, but yeah, it's unique assets that were created solely for that. Also in the Sea of Eden, these Krakens are a bit infamous. I've alluded to something known as the Gutsy Bat lie a few times throughout this journey, and it has come time for us to talk about it. Every copy of EarthBound released in North America came with a copy of the... No! Came with a copy of the no. I guess that would be right up my alley. Came with a copy of the player's guide. Inside of that player's guide, it told you all kinds of little tips and tricks, tells you about the Sword of Kings and how maybe you want to make sure you get that before moving on from the Stonehenge base because you won't get another chance. In the same vein, it tells you about the Gutsy Bat, the ultimate weapon for Ness, which raises his guts to near maximum levels. He's going to be getting smash attacks, and he's going to be surviving most any attack. It is good for him on multiple fronts. And it tells you that these 3 Kraken, there's the third one, that never respawn are the only enemies in the game that can drop them. Magicant Krakens are special. Except none of that's true! These Kraken are not capable of dropping anything. They have it confused with another enemy that we have yet to encounter. Don't worry about it. There's never been a reissuing of the official guide that does this, but it seriously recommends that you stop here, saving before you go to the Sea of Eden, and resetting over and over again if you want to get it. I imagine many children wasted their weekends that they are never getting back trying to do that. It's a very, very sad thing to think about, and it's a shared experience that a lot of EarthBound fans have. I'm not personally one of them. Like I said, I had access to a cartridge, but the friend who gave me the cartridge did not give me the player's guide. So I didn't really have that experience. And yet, the frustrating thing is, there's always somebody involved in discussion of this who says that no, they have gotten the Gutsy Bat from the Krakens in here before. That they had a playthrough where they were just going through, weren't even trying, and it dropped for them. Other people still have said that they remember distinctly grinding it out for an afternoon and getting it after a few hours of trial and error and feeling really accomplished when they did. There's never been any data to support this. Even though in the player's guide it shows the item in Ness's inventory, this isn't proof. There's multiple other screenshots in the player's guide that depict, I think at one point, Jeff with a full inventory of Ness's bats while he is in Winters. It's very clear that they were using debug mode to take these screenshots so they could make them in a shorter amount of time. Yet, people claiming that is unfalsifiable. There might just be a rare beta version of EarthBound floating out there that maybe made it into some first print cartridges that's never been dumped anywhere, and for all we know, maybe that screenshot's legit. Who knows? I don't. It's one of those mysteries of life. Let's eat the magic pudding. Get that pudding going. And we're using the eraser on it. It looks sort of like some primitive human statue, if you look at it from the right angle. But it definitely doesn't look like an eraser, does it? If you use the pencil eraser, it will play the same message that is played when you check the Mani Mani statue. One of the most remote lines there is. Let's do it. I'm the evil part of your brain. You can't beat me, because you are the one who forced me into being. Ness's Nightmare! Remembering with the correct color palette this time, is one dangerous foe. He mainly attacks, being the evil part of Ness's mind, with Rollin' and Flash. This is why you want the Earth Pendant, and if not the Earth Pendant, keeping your Night Pendant on. This guy can end your game right away, making you go all the way back to Magicant, having to walk through the Sea of Eden all over again. He's no pushover. He also has the healing capabilities that Ness does as well. Rollin' Omega! He will know that attack regardless if you've learned it up to this point. 700 damage to what is normally our tank. It is unbelievable. I think I'm gonna regular attack him a few more times to hopefully destroy that shield, and then we're gonna open up the bag of Dragonite on him. That's why I was hanging on to it, wasn't using it on that. This can be a hard fight. I've known plenty of people that have not had trouble and then suddenly had trouble on Ness's Nightmare. It's no joke. It really can be tough, especially if you don't have the right equipment and you weren't prepared for it. The fact that he knows Flash, any boss. Oh, didn't work. Wow. For once, Ness was too fast for something. Emitting a glorious light. That is Flash Omega, just as it has been on other foes that we have fought. Okay, so its shield disappeared. It's time. I hope there is enough room inside of my own skull to do this, but let's find out together. Yoinks! 524, and then we'll use another. 541. Still no. Jeez. You think that's enough health? I'll life up? Just to get my HP maxed out a little bit? Alright. I guess you leave me no choice. Well, oh gosh, what do I do here? I don't have any more PP. I have HP recovery in the form of that. Maybe it just is time. Maybe I'll just power through the shield even though I'm going to take damage every time I hit him. I was thinking about it, and without any PP recovery, I just don't want to use Rollin'. 48 damage is fine. Just so long as he's not healing off the smash! There it is! Shattered that statue for the second time. Ness grew to level 79. Defense went up by 2, speed went up by 1, guts went up by 1, luck went up by 2, max HP went up by 2, max PP went up by 1. I have some bad news for you if you've been doing a challenge run. If you are already level 99, what is about to play out won't happen. You have to have 1 level to gain for any of this to occur. Ness heard a familiar voice at the center of the Sea of Eden. Gygas's goal is to destroy you. Listen carefully. everything in the Unverse could be destroyed at the hands of Gygus. But he and his followers are also in trouble. The Apple of Enlightenment is foretold that Gygus' attempt will fail. It is because of the existence of a boy named Ness. That's me! Listen. Free your mind and know what you must do. Your destiny has already been decided. You, I. Where should we go? You know, deep within the reaches of your mind. Saturn Valley, yes. Go to the valley where the Mr. Saturn live. You'll get something new there. Soon, Magicant will be no more. We must be quick. Ness really heard his own voice. Go to Saturn Valley. Go to Saturn Valley now! Ness was filled with the power of the giant step. Ness was filled with the power of the Lilliput steps. Ness was filled with the power of the Milky Well. Ness was filled with the power of the Magnet Hill. Ness was filled with the power of the Rainy Circle. Ness was filled with the power of the Pink Cloud. Ness was filled with the power of the Lumine Hole. Ness was filled with the power of the Fire Spring. Instantly, Ness's mind cleared, and he realized that he possessed great power. At that moment, Ness's psychic powers radically expanded. Ness gained 200,000 experience. Ness's level is now 80. Offense up by 4, speed up by 1, guts up by 2, vitality up by 2, IQ up by 2. Sweet! Max HP went up by 178! That rocks! Max PP went up by 372! And finally, he realized he had the power of Teleport Beta. Ness made all of the hidden powers his own. Ness absorbed the power of the land into his heart, and Magicant was no more. Now you can wake up. Your friends are waiting for you. It is time to get up.